Hey everybody! Okay, so I'm making a video. I'm a couple days late on making this video. My goal is to do it every Wednesday, but I'm happy with having at least one video done every single week. So here we go. Today's Saturday, and I'm making a video. This video is to update you guys about what I have been doing, which was I did what I told you I was going to do, which is write down the 10 things, the 10 most prevalent negative thoughts that I have in my mind, and then to switch those over and turn them into exact opposite positive beliefs about myself, positive statements or declarations. And that's what I did. And what I ended up doing was in the morning, I have a drive, it's like 10-15 minutes to get to work, and I said my declarations in the car every morning, because then if I wanted to yell them and to talk as much as I wanted to, I wasn't afraid of scaring the neighbors or waking up my husband if he was still sleeping. And that tended to be a really good way for me to say those things and really feel them. And so that's something I've started to do, that in the morning in my car, I know that I'm going to do my declarations, and that really helps. And no, I wasn't exactly perfect on it, but I did really well, and I felt such a difference, and I feel such a difference when I do that. So I'm going to continue doing that. What I'm trying to do here is like a recipe for success with adding these things to my life, knowing that it's going to add more structure and that it's going to add a lot more joy, because I'm able to have these anchors to hold me down in my life, if that makes sense. And speaking of which, that leads right into the subject for this little video that I wanted to make today, which is entitled Smooth Sailing. Because I was thinking about how in life, we're going to encounter so many things. I encounter so many things that throw me off course, that I think throw me off course, right? Things will be going good, our finances are good, and then all of a sudden, there's like a big thing that we have to pay for that we weren't planning on paying for. Or things will be going great at work, and then there's like a stick thrown into the spokes there. Or in our family, something happens with a family member, and I want to be able to be sturdy enough, to be anchored enough, that those things, when they come, I can still have smooth sailing. Like, yeah, they're going to affect me. I'm going to feel the things that happen, but I really want to still be able to be anchored enough that I can get through those things, and I can allow them to be learning circumstances or learning opportunities for me. So the smooth sailing thing kind of has 3 parts to it. The first part I want to talk about is routine. I noticed I served an LDS mission a few years ago, and I thrived during that mission. I was actually quite worried about it, waking up at 6:30 every single morning, going to bed at the same time, never having one day to just take a long, beautiful nap if I wanted to. I was legitimately worried about that. And that was the biggest reason why I was nervous to go on a mission. That actually was my strength as a missionary. I can't remember a day, except for when I was very sick and ordered to sleep in later, that I did not get up at 6:30 right when my alarm went off. I never pressed a snooze, because I had this purpose in mind, and this purpose was, God has asked me to do this. I want to be obedient so that we can experience blessings. We can have people come into our lives that are going to accept the gospel, right? So that I was really good at that. And then I came home and I didn't have a purpose like that, and I stopped going to bed at 10:30 and getting up at 6:30. But recently I have been going to bed, since I got married, my incredible husband loves to go to bed early and then get up early so that he feels better. And so I've gotten into the routine. We go to bed by 10 o'clock. And I have to get up at 6 in order to be to work on time to open up the spa in the morning. So this is a really good thing. I notice that when I have this routine and this is just my bedtime routine, but when I have the routine at night and in the morning, my life is completely different. This structure helps me so much. Having a routine of, okay, I go to bed at 10 and I do certain things before I go to bed. And I do those every single day. And the same thing in the morning. When I do those same things, I wake up in the morning, I do my what I call 15-minute communion, which is another video that I'll probably talk about next week, is something I do called a 15-minute communion. And I get ready and I'm out the door at the same time. I'm out the door by 7 a.m. That routine, that really keeps me sane. And especially during this time of year when it's starting to get dark early, that kills me a little bit. I need my sunshine. I really miss the sunshine when that daylight savings time is one of my least favorite things. This year has been so good though, because I've made sure that I had this routine. I've kept to it, and it's been incredible. I'm sure being married to someone awesome, having this be my first winter being married, and I know that helps too, but having a routine has really saved me from feeling like during this time of year, if that makes sense. I'm sure I'm not alone there. Okay, so that routine is so important. The second thing that I was thinking of, let me see my list here. Okay, being regularly fueled. So number 2 would be make sure you're regularly fueled. And I'm actually listing these things because I know during this like winter time, this change, during the holidays, although the holidays are so fun and I love Christmas, I love getting to see my whole family and getting to buy specific gifts for each person. It can be a little bit difficult as well because sometimes there's stress and things. I'm sure that all of you experience this type of thing, at least in a small degree, so you know what I'm talking about. But if you're regularly fueled, and I say this because I experienced something that my family likes to call hanger, you'll do better. You just will, because your brain can think if you're fueled well. So make sure you're regularly fueled, and that is you wake up, you have breakfast, you make sure you're having food if you're feeling at all hungry, which I know sounds silly to say, but sometimes I ignore that, like, okay, I'm hungry, well, I have more important things to do. So I always keep a protein bar. I really like the Think Thin protein bars. I like to keep that with me. That's something that I want to be better at, but when I do that, I feel like I am more consistent, like I don't have these like ups and downs as much throughout the day. So number 2 is making sure you're regularly fueled. The third one is something that is called, what I like to call, going with your gut, which means you're not fighting the promptings that you have in your mind, that come up in your mind. You know when you're like walking in Walmart or the store or something and you see someone and you feel like maybe you should say something to them about maybe something that they're wearing, a positive thing, right? You want to go with the positive things. Or like there's someone standing next to you in line at the grocery store, or you feel like you should call your sister, or just these like random things, and you're like, I'm too busy for that, and you push it away. Or you fight it. You're like, it's kind of like a battle in your mind, if this makes sense. This happens to me all day long. Like I'm like, maybe I could be doing this. And sometimes it comes like boom, 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 and I'm like, I can't do all those things. So what I like to do is write them down, like call Heather. Heather's my sister. Text Nikki. Write a letter to a certain missionary. And it's funny because it usually just involves a person, and sometimes I'll fight it and be like, that's not important. But the more that I fight it, I feel like the less settled I feel. So if I write those out like on a little sticky note and make sure I get those things done when I have a chance, usually if I get the prompting and I just do it, it takes a couple seconds or a couple minutes and then I'm done. And I say this because this tends to give me better energy. I feel like, okay, I followed a thought that I should have and I trusted myself in that thought. I also trusted my higher power, because I believe my higher power gives me those type of promptings and those type of little nudges in order for me to be an instrument in his hands. And when I fight that, I'm fighting what I feel is my divine nature. And so when I go with it, I feel a higher energy level, and that helps me get through dark times when I feel like I'm following these little nudges in my mind. So these 3 things have helped me, because I really thought about how have I been able to do super well through the winter, or really through my life, but I'm talking about the winter because that's what we're all experiencing now, is through those 3 things have been incredible anchors for me. So I recommend having that good routine, right? Being regularly fueled and following your gut. Now don't let yourself get overwhelmed by this. Following your gut doesn't mean that you have to be a crazy person and wear yourself out. I tell you these things because it's really important that you put your needs first, your own personal needs, because if you are not fed, watered, and fueled and feeling good, you can't really do that for your children. You can't do that for your husband. So you need to feel good so the energy that you're bringing to your home is awesome as well. So as this holiday season approaches, Thanksgiving is coming up. I want you to know, everyone that's watching this, to know that I feel an intense gratitude for my body. Sometimes I feel like this fight within me, when I say sometimes, this is on a regular basis, on a daily basis, of negative feelings towards my body, and I am fighting that. I want to let go of that, and that's what's happening right now. I am so thankful for my body, because my body lets me do incredible things. And I want to treat my body like the divine vessel and temple that it is. And that's why I'm doing this. So although during the week I wasn't perfect, and honestly I had some slumps in there, I will never give up that fight. So if you guys have any questions or you want to message or comment below, I would love that. Happy Thanksgiving.